We are going to be talking about one of the great parts of Australia, which is the Northern Territory, and the opportunities of investment and business that can be done within that sphere of Australia.
Countries that represent 70% of total CO2 emissions have now tied themselves and pledged to net zero.
I think it's no exaggeration to say that this really is the industrial revolution of our time.
I would say in terms of institutional capital coming into the space, every conversation we have at the moment involves some sort of ESG dialogue. More specifically around ESG, I would say in terms of institutional dialogue, sort of the two areas where most of the focus is, and we'll sort of come on to some of the details, is climate being number one and impact investing being second.
So I think when we're talking about ESG and the opportunities, the territory, as Warren indicated, is 30% of our population is Indigenous. I can hop on a plane as I did yesterday, 4.5 hours, and then we get access to that east coast, and we've got about 20 million people there. So, that's a pretty good market when you're sitting in the territory and you've got 250,000 people. But if I was to fly that same distance going north, I'm accessing 500 million people. Our time is not focusing so much back like we always have in the territory. We really are looking north. It's not just about the territory as well. This is about Australia's prosperity, and I think that's pretty clear when we start seeing where we're located.
No bigger signal than the carbon, climate change situation that we're facing as it relates to the threat to the planet itself. I am not up here to convince you of the science, nor convince you of anything other than the reality of what's going on, and I'll show you a chart here in a minute. This is the greatest human challenge that is in front of our species. If you haven't embraced it yet, do it immediately. Decarbonization is a word thrown around very easily. It's incredibly hard to do. It means civil society, business and government has to collaborate like never before. The country is brilliant, it's got great minds, but it's enamored with the 20th century concept of think tanks. We need to get out of the think tank mode to the do tank mode. If you haven't heard of a do tank, it gets things done.